All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Whew. I'll tell you what. This is crazy. But yeah, we are live again. Part two of Templars. So I'm definitely hoping some people will come in today to check it out. And that's weird. No, excuse me. I wasn't expecting that. Sorry, I apologize. Normally I mute. But yeah. So it is crazy. It is crazy. But like I said, it's still Father's Day, so we're gonna jump right off to just go on. If you want to catch up, just go back and catch up to where I started. So, uh, based on information, the Knights Templar were officially formed in 1118. A French knight named Hugo de Payens established a monastic military order, and basically, a small group of his friends actually were the first Crusaders, and they protected Christian pilgrims that were traveling to the Holy Land. So basically, knights that got together, and then it formed, and this kept going and building to a bigger period. 1120, King Baldwin II of Jerusalem granted the order of headquarters and Sacred Temple Mount. So basically, they liked what they were doing and got into like, oh yeah, we love these guys and we want to put them in something to have their own place and own temple. Um, which then also gave them Knights of the Temple. So that's basically right there gave them their name. Uh, they received a formal endorsement in 1129 from the Catholic Church uh, at the Council of Troyes. I believe that I'm saying that correctly. So that's where that really started off and it progressed actually pretty quick if you really think about it. 1118, 1120, and then 1129. It pretty much progressed in that. And, they really were a great military group that was knights. That's when really it started to get in the groove of things. Um, and then when they did the Catholic Church, that's when their armor kind of changed to the cross and that. Uh, and then it followed through with their swords and shields and everything else. So really, it was an extravagant things, but they did pledge their allegiance to the Lord. They didn't pledge it really to the church um, or anybody else. Really, that's the main thing that's crazy here. That it's something that they were really focused on and following that. Um, so the Christian armies captured Jerusalem from Muslim control in 1099. Yeah, 1099. And during that crusade, groups of pilgrims from the Western European started visiting the Holy Land. Okay. So a lot of people were coming in, um, and a lot of them were getting robbed and killed in that as they crossed from the Muslim controlled territories and that to the Holy Land. So basically, they formed a group to protect those people, and really, it was supposed to be just to help these people get across, but then it became something much bigger, which is of brilliance. So really, it started out in the French area and worked its way around, and then different countries started to uh, also go and get involved with them because they had the same heartfelt feelings about the Lord and, and what the knights were doing. So they pretty much joined for that purpose. And then it became more to them as well. So they really felt like they were closer to God, um, especially for everything they were doing. I mean, come on, think about it. Um, and they had the support of Baldwin the second, the ruler of Jerusalem. So, I mean, it became bigger, and that's where they actually got their name because of the Temple Mount that they gave them. So, really, that's Knights of the Temple. So, really, there was a lot of criticism also from religious leaders. But in 1129, the group received the formal endorsement of the Catholic Church and the support of Bernard in praise of the new knighthood. Because it was a new knighthood that just really came together and just got out there and did right. I mean, they were doing good. It wasn't into all that stuff that was going on back then. Really, it was to protect the church, protect God's name, um, and sacred relics. So, if you really think about it, these knights were just awesome. 1139, the Pope Innocent II issued a papal bull that allowed the Knights Templar to especially have rights, and that with not paying taxes, permitted to build their own orchards. Um, pretty much gave them free range because of what they were doing at the time. And they did a lot of work, they have the Austria Code of Conduct. So pretty much it's no pointy shoes and no kissing their mothers. Those are the rules that outlined in the rules of the Templar. And a signature style dress. Sorry. That's a lot. A white habit emblazoned with a simple red cross. So they did simple dressing in that. They didn't really go extravagant, which is great because if you really think about it back then, I've seen a lot of back then where in some of the stuff they were extravagant attire in that. And that's really boasting in that. And, if you're about God, you're not being boastful, prideful, and all that stuff. So really, if you think about it, it was a good symbolism that, hey, we don't need that. We don't need to dress like that. We don't need to, try to be out there like that because, we're not prideful. We'll withhold our pride because we're with God. So, I mean, it's just crazy of how much I've learned over times. They also swore an oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience, which is extravagant because, they weren't allowed to drink, gamble, and swear. Prayer was essential pretty much every time throughout their life. Um, they expressed a particular adoration for the mother of Jesus, the Virgin Mary. So that's another thing. I mean, it's a lot that I've got here from him. So there was a Mediterranean island that's being searched for. So no one knows where this island's. They had a big, sizable fleet of ships. Uh, and there's a Mediterranean island called Cyprus. And it served as a primary bank and lending institution for European monarchs and nobles and that. So basically, they did protect that and pretty much owned a major part of it. And that, from what my uncle said, that they owned a large part of it. Uh, So there was a lot more duties than just protecting pilgrims from danger and that. So they became the defenders of the Crusades in the Holy Land and were known as brave, highly skilled warriors, which they were because there were so many of them, and not too many do you hear die in battle. Not too many. It's very rare, and they had a very fierce reputation. I mean, really hardcore fighters and that, which I give that from a lot of they train and all that a lot harder and a lot more focused because they are focused more on God and that. So really, when your focus is really on something and you're determined, they were really motivated. Let's put it that way. Okay, they were so motivated that their focus was on God and what they thought was the right thing to do. Which, I got to give them that. Especially back then, they were at a young age where they became a man, and I think it was 13 years old, from what he said, is when they became a man back then. And so basically, you would have the manly, duties of learning and training and doing the things that men are supposed to do back then. Um, they also built, from what I heard, they built a lot of castles, which it baffles me that none has really been found. Now, I do understand a lot of them are destroyed, but a lot of these places are not known. Um, and to this day, apparently they're not. So uh, it's a wonder that none of these have been found. And it kind of shocked me as well, because I thought at least, something like that would be found. So, yeah, it's just, and they had a fearlessness. Like, they weren't afraid to die. That was another thing that was great about them. Like, they had no fear, and for good reason, because they believed they were going to go to heaven and that, which is true. Which is true. I do believe that when you do something, especially the way they were doing it. But there was some things that were back and forth, and that back in those days, there was arrests and executions and so on and so forth. So it's just a wondrous thing that back then happened. Like Friday, October 13th of 1307. Yeah. Yes. Scores of the Templars, French Templars, were arrested, including the order's Grand Master Jacques de Molay. He was definitely arrested and brutally tortured, all of them, until they confessed to false charges. So they were forced to, admit to things they didn't do, of course, including hearsay, homosexuality, financial corruption, devil worshipping, fraud, and spitting on a cross, and so on and so forth. Um, Anything just to, get them to admit to, and that way, the people would be against them. Also, a lot of the Templars were burned at the stake in Paris for those false confessions, and de Molay was actually executed in 1314. Yeah, 1314. He was executed. Uh, then supposedly they put it on King Philip, that supposedly the Pope, was forced to dissolve the Knights Templars in 1312, which we know is all bullcrap. The king didn't have nothing to do with it. The Pope actually lied to the king, and then the king agreed to it and got angry. So we know the real true story because, it's a given fact. And then the rival order of the Knights Templars was the Knights Hospitallers, or something like that. So, so King Philip and King Edward II actually were together and seized most of the Knights Templars' wealth. Of course, that's what they were really after, and it's just a shame. And like I said, they say that the Knights Templars were fully disbanded 700 years ago. That isn't true. That's what is said. That is what said in that. So, and then supposedly the Freemasons revived several of the medieval knight symbols and rituals and traditions. Really, truthfully, I don't believe that. The Freemasons have always been on the little bit darker side from what I've heard. And supposedly I know some people that got a hold of some of those what you would call journals and books and rules and stuff like that, and ritual books that were the Freemasons. I would have to disagree because I do not believe the Knights Templars would go to good Knights of God to doing stuff that's just don't add up. So, and of course, most of our history and that is a lie. That is a proven fact there. I mean, they've always constantly lied about everything to pretty much get you against each other, and make it pretty much that no one is united in that, which they have succeeded, unfortunately. If you really look at it, they have actually succeeded in that because a lot of us, guess what? Do we? No, we don't. We're all pitted against each other, and we're always fighting against each other, and especially each other's, own kind. Mankind is, I don't know. It's just we have gotten to a point where we're even fighting each other's, and even worse. And it's just sad. It's sad. But the Knights Templars never did nothing wrong. The Catholics have constantly, said that because, like I said, they found out the truth, about the Catholics, and they were killing innocent people, women, men, children, all that, all for the sake of, control. And, and a lot of people were questioning the church's, ability to help them like they promised. And they weren't fulfilling that. And that's why they were questioning them. And that's why they got the blasphemy. So I appreciate you for jumping in. If you want to jump in the chat, we're talking about the Knights Templar here. So please welcome into the chat, and I appreciate the thumbs up. If you could share as well, I'd really be grateful. Get this channel out there, because besides this, I talk about many other things. But yeah, so the Knights have always been around. They still are around to this day, just hidden still for the fact of the Vatican still, of course, overrules everything. And plus, they don't want to be tortured for sacred objects that they did take. They did take a lot, from what I heard, and that's what really ticked off them even more. And unfortunately, a few got sacrificed. Now, after they left, that's when they went to Greece, and that's when the St. Clairs, my guardian family, got, our history. It shows, well, their history, I'm sorry. Their history shows that their great, whatever, joined, and then ever since then, the St. Clair has been part of the Knights Templars. And it is confirmed that they're still, St. Clair's still involved in that Knights Templars. And they're still, like I said, around. For the fact of that, there's some things that it was believed that the show, that there was treasure, Knights Templar treasure, buried on. I know you guys know the show. I mean, come on. So it's been on there a few times and that. And, I don't believe, and neither does my uncle, believe anything that might be really there anymore. Uh, as a possibility of it once being there, yes. He said that there is a highly likely part where there used to be hidden artifacts there. As for it anymore, no. He says, from his knowledge, it was moved multiple times. He don't know exactly where to would be the last place, but he knows for a fact that it's been moved a ton of times. So it's really interesting to know where this history goes and that, and the fact that it's still around to this day. So, and if you want to go back on the backstory, if you're just joining in, go back. It's interesting. I got more, but I'm sharing bits and pieces because really, like, it would be a 3 to 4 hour stream, really, and it's so much, and it'd be so overwhelming, and I don't want to overwhelm you guys. So that's why I did a part one, part two, which is here. There's going to be part 3, 4, and I believe it's going to lead up all the way to 6, from the way I have my notes set up. So, because I don't want to focus on one whole thing, overwhelm you with that, and then it would be a lot. But there was, like I said, tons of Templar, Knights Templars, tons. I mean, the ships, uh, there was over 20 ships. So I'm looking in closer to the 25 range of Knight Templar ships. So the fact is, they didn't find all the ships. One. And it just is great. You know, it's great to know some of this stuff that's been going on through our history, especially the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar is always a great one to learn about history because there's so much, you know, about them. So much, especially from what he's told me, and then I read up on. It's just unbelievable. Now, a lot of what I read up on is different from what my, you know, family's saying about, you know, what really happened. But of course, they're still going to lie about it. So it's just craziness. Craziness. And Oak Island. Oak Island is the one that I was talking about. Um, I was trying to get somebody to jump in the chat to see it, but obviously not. But yeah. So Oak Island is basically one of the places, yes, that was used as it. Now, is there still stuff there to this day? My uncle says yes. There's probably still stuff um, to this day. Now, there is a ship. There's a few ships that were taken apart and used to build stuff and all that. And then a few ships were used for transportation of cargo and so on and so forth. So, like I said, like Oak Island is definitely another history thing. Also, if you look back on that as well, it goes far. Especially it's strange with the curse, like that actually things have happened. Now, do I believe the curse? No. I think it's more of a fear instillment of things that mysteriously things happen. Things happen. But to add on to the story and that to, you know, kind of give it a thrill, that's what I think it was, or, you know, to put fear in for this stuff to stop. But if you really think about it, not too many people are going to stop looking for treasure because either they're looking to get rich or something. But that history with Oak Island as well goes back to way back to when those boys found the treasure in that, some gold in that, silver. Um, but the thing is that Rick and Marty, they actually found treasure. So Rick and them actually did find treasure there. Uh, Surprisingly, a good amount, and some that was loose as they were going and progressing through that. You know, And they found tons more and tons more stuff, proving over and over that Knights Templars and French and pirates were there. The French and pirates have constantly been around, and that's the thing. Like, everybody thinks that Christopher Columbus is the first one to discover America, which is hocus pocus. It's America's been around, been founded a long time ago, obviously, because look, there was Native Americans there when Christopher Columbus landed. So if they're there, then it's been discovered. It wasn't, the New World. It wasn't. They try to, make themselves big and bad and all that stuff, and that they were successful and all this, and no one else. Blah blah. Well, guess what? It's proven through history that Vikings and Danes have been here. It's proven that pirates have been here. It's proven that other tribes have been here. The list goes on. That even medieval knights and that were coming to America. Of course, it wasn't called America at the time, but they were coming here. So, if you really think about it, Christopher Columbus didn't find Jack in honest reality. He was the one to first come and claim it, and then go after the Native Americans and whoever else that was here that it really belonged to. That's the honest truth. I mean, do you not agree that that's the honest truth? Because really it is. If you really look and really pay attention to the stories, it proves for the fact of that. Am I not correct? That's the thing. That it really is the whole point. So I would like to get your guys' idea and see what you think. I mean, the family, the St. Clairs have been through a long time through the Knights Templars, and they'll tell you even the Knights Templars been here before Christopher Columbus. So that should tell you, mostly in Canada area. Like I said, just to tell you something. Apparently, King Arthur has been over here. Should tell you something. Not the only one Christopher Columbus was not the only one that discovered America. He's the only one that claim. And besides, let's get on to Christopher Columbus since we're on a random. Christopher Columbus that's not what his real name was for some reason. Some reason there is no history or knowledge of a Christopher Columbus in any country overseas. Why is that? Because there was something shady and different about Christopher Columbus, I think. And I don't think that was his real name. I think that was what they gave him as a name. I think really he was a spy, basically. Or a conspirator in something. So really, I don't think their intention was to come over here to discover America or anything. Maybe to create a war. Maybe they were after something else. And then his name got changed because they found something else and they didn't want his real name out there for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. Because I've looked back. I looked real back. This is before Christopher Columbus went to the Queen, supposedly, and went to come over here. So you see, that's what you people, you just listen to what you're told. Do your hard research on everything and anything that's being told to you, because as it's been proven over and over lately, it's all BS. It is. It's all BS. Always will be, always has been. That's facts. And it's sad. It really is sad. And so It breaks me down to realize that, we just listen to what's being fed to us instead of going and getting hard facts, facts, facts. Why do we keep on being stupid and naive and listening to these people read us these stories, making up these stories, and that's it? Oh, okay, that's what happened. Okay, no, do your hard fact checking first before you're told something. Just like I've proven over and over in multiple videos, King Arthur was real, Robin Hood was real. It's been founded, changed from folklore to reality. Okay. And multiple others were real. UFOs, UAPs now, oh, they're no longer folklore or, conspiracy. It's now reality. So if those things have been proven, switched over from conspiracy or folklore to reality, then obviously something's wrong here. And you're still all calm about it. You're all still, oh, I don't care. I'm going to go on my work day. I'm going to get my paycheck. And then I'm going to go and spend money and, be broke again until my next paycheck. That's all you're worried about. I'm going to get my fancy car and drive around. I was in those stages too until I started hearing a lot of stuff that changed from conspiracy and folklore to reality. That's where my brain has been opened up and says, oh, I'm awake because something don't sound right here. Because I grew up on the fact that this was folklore, this was mythology, this was that, this was conspiracy, so on and so forth, that it was all BS, but now it's coming out, it's real. It's fact. But yet, I don't hear them saying, oh, we were wrong. Oh, yeah, we made a mistake and thought, we apologize. We lied. How about that? How about that one? Oh, we lied to you for years, so we're sorry. We're sorry for lying to you. But hey, this is why we lied to you. Because we thought it would cause a mass panic. Because we thought it would just be, everybody would be an outroar and finding out something was actually real and back then, or this and that. Okay, but we apologize. That is different compared to you lying and making up something. And then turn around and contradict it. That there makes me look like you're a piece of, yeah. That right there makes me say, get the hell out of the office. I don't want you as a senator. I don't want you as a mayor. I don't want you as Congress. I don't want you as president. I don't want you as anything except in jail because you lied, committing the crime of lying to the people. Remember, everybody, it's in your Constitution. Right, look up your Constitution. Read all of them. Read all of them. Read the Declaration of Independence. Read everything. Because I'm telling you, it's all in there that you can get rid of these douches that are in office, bullcrapping and making us slave and bust our butts while they sit back and collect on a paycheck and lie to us willingly. Come on. It makes me sick sitting back here and watch you be slaves to the government. When truthfully, the government was put in place. It's in the Constitution that the government was put in place for our benefit, not theirs. But yet now it's switched around. Now it's their benefit, and we're the suckers. We're the suckers. Am I not right? It's okay for them to lie to us and not apologize, but if we do something like that, we go to jail. Am I not right? I know I am. That's the thing. They constantly lie and contradict everything they say. Not once do they apologize or admit they're wrong. And they've been lying to us for years and calling us pieces of crap and conspiracy theorists and all that, but then it turns around that they tell and say it's true. And you just sit back and let it go. The government was put in place for us, not the other way around. So they shouldn't be allowed to hide nothing all them years from you. Right away, they should be like, oh, and as soon as you're questioning and asking, hey, what's going on? What's this? They are supposed to answer and tell you, not hide it, not have top secret documents, not have confidential, documents, classified documents, so on and so forth. And it's funny how they make us guys that have been involved in a lot of stuff sign NDAs. Well, isn't that our right? Isn't it the people's right to know the truth on what we're getting? Isn't it the people's right to know that this is going on? Isn't it the people's right to know there's technology even back then? Come on. What about the Knights Templars? I want to know the truth. Why about you admit that you're a bullcrap and liar, and the Catholics are the ones in wrong and still are in wrong? Because I'm going to tell you, people, they're still in power. Proven fact. Still to this day in power. Because they have the vault. They have the Vatican vault. They got every scroll hidden in there. Why can't we see it? Why isn't it put out there? What about other ancient artifacts? Why can't we see it? Come on, man. Wake up. Wake up. It's time for the United States and every other country to wake the hell up and see what's going on. That's the honest truth. It's reality. And then all these viruses that keep coming, where are they coming from? Them. Because there's testing in laboratories. They're doing this in laboratories. They're doing that. And it's top secret. Get it? Top secret. Why is it top secret? And then while we're getting sick or our people are dying, we have the right to know the truth that you are making it. Because we've gone decades and decades without any kind of virus or anything. Then all of a sudden, when you guys are messing around, yeah. Yep. Craziness, huh? But you want to lie about it. Wait a minute. All right, everybody. But yeah, like you guys got to understand, it's time to go after what is rightfully ours, and that's the truth. Okay, because I see a lot of things wrong lately, a lot of things, especially on how we're treated and talked to and disregarded and disrespected. And the only thing they pay attention is the wealthy, rich celebrities, and that's it. Forget everybody else. We're going to focus on them, and that's it, and ourselves. And then what we do, sit back and do nothing. Because we allow it. Because we're so brainwashed and just don't know any better. So yeah, think about it. Really, really think about it, people. Do you want to keep living like that? Do you want your children to live like that and go through even worse? Be honest. Be honest. I'm being honest. I'm being real about it. fact of the world, people, is that you guys need to wake the heck up. That's the truth. That is the reality of it, and no one's paying attention to it. You guys just keep allowing, and it's just ridiculous how you let these people just walk all over you. And it blows my mind. Blows my mind. Yep. It's crazy. Is it not? To me, it is. To me, it is. So, and until, we figure things out and start getting things where it needs to be, that's what it's going to be. That's the way it'll be.
Another day, another fake smile. Another voice ain't changed your style. I used to care what they all think. Now I just laugh while the world sinks. You can talk, I'll light the match. Watch me dance while it all turns to ash. I don't give a fuck. Let it burn, let it roar. You can hate me if you want. Also smile through the war. Yeah, I'm done trying to fit your mold. I'm too loud, too wild, too cold. I don't give a fuck. So watch me burn it down. So watch me burn it down. They say I changed, I say I woke up. Took your crown, filled my own cup. You call it chaos, I call it free. This is what it looks like when you're finally me. Sick of begging for a seat at your table. I'll flip the damn thing if I'm able. If peace don't come, I'll find it in flames. Remember my name when you scream my name. I don't give a fuck. Let it burn, let it roar. You can hate me if you want. I'll still smile through the war. Yeah, I'm done trying to fit your mold. I'm too loud, too wild, too bold. I don't give a fuck. So watch me burn it down. So watch me burn it down. Every scar you left makes me wish we never met. Not a word you said is true. I fucking hate you. I tried so hard to be your friend, protected you to no end. Your insecurities I tried to mend. It's just the way it had to end. With the truth that you bent. Every scar you left makes me wish we never met. Not a word you said is true. I fucking hate you. You thrive on hypocrisy. Take your made-up story, parade my life like a trophy. Can't you see you're killing me? Ain't my warning, I'm on my mental worry. It's relentless, fucking endless. The pain you put me through. Every scar you left makes me wish we never met. Not a word you said is true. I fucking hate you. Wrapped right through, left an exit wound. You nearly put me in the dirt, and I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. Every scar you left makes me wish we never met. Not a word you said is true. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. Yes, I fucking hate you.
With Save Hundreds with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
That's great, but can you ask your friend to stop digging?
Can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk? I didn't mean to call you that. I can't remember what was said or what you threw at me. Please tell me why. The car is in the front yard, and I'm sleeping with my clothes on. Came through the window last night, and you're gone. It's no surprise to me, I am my own worst enemy. Cause every now and then I kick the living shit out of me. The smoke alarm is going off and there's a cigarette still burning. Please tell me why. The car is in the front yard, and I'm sleeping with the clothes on. Came through the window last night, and you're gone, gone. Please tell me why. The car's in the front yard, and I'm sleeping with the clothes on. I came through the window last night. It's no surprise to me, I am my own worst enemy. Cause every now and then I kick the living shit out of me. Can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk? I didn't mean to call you that. Nigga, you know you drive me crazy. One puts a rhythm in my head. Still will never understand why you hang around. I see what's going down. Cover up with makeup in the mirror. Tell yourself it's never gonna happen again. You cry alone and that he swears he loves you. Do you feel like a man when you push her around? Do you feel better now? She falls to the ground. Well, I'll tell you, my friend, one day this world's gonna end. As your lights come on down, a new life she has found. mind, the water makes a ripple effect. Every action in this world without a consequence. If you wait around the battle, you will surely drown. I see what's going down. I see the way you go and say, alright, you can. Say, alright, you can. Be my answer. Do you feel like a man when you push her around? Do you feel better now as she falls to the ground? Well, I'll tell you, my friend, one day this world's going to end as your eyes crumble down. A new life. She has fell face down in the dirt. She said, this doesn't hurt. She said, I'm following her. Face down in the dirt. She said, this doesn't hurt. She said, I'm following her. One day she will tell you that she doesn't know. He's coming round again. Do you feel like a man when we push her around? Do you feel better now as she falls to the ground? Well, I'll tell you, my friend, one day this world's going to end as your eyes crumble down. A new life. Do you feel like a man when you push her around? Do you feel better now as she falls to the ground? Well, I'll tell you, my friend, one day this world's going to end as your eyes crumble down. A new life. Face down in the dirt. She said, this doesn't hurt. She said, I'm following her. No. Storming through the party like my name was El Nino. Hanging out, drinking in the back of the Camino. Was a skid, no one knew my name. Trashed my own house.
Tim Howard. If I place a bet in the U.S. game and the U.S. scores,
Oh, you can get a
Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say. I never want to let you down or have you go. It's better off this way for all the dirty looks, the photographs your boyfriend took. Remember when you broke your foot from jumping out the second floor? I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. You wear me out. What will it take to show you that it's not the life it seems? I've told you time and time again, you sing the words, but still what it means to be a joke. And look, another line without a hook. I held you close as we both shook for the last time. Take a good hard look. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. You wear me out. never dirty looks. I thought I'd grab your boyfriend up. You said you read me like a book. The pages are long, torn and frayed. But you really need to listen to me, because I'm telling you the truth. I mean this, I'm okay. Trust me. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. But I'm not okay. I'm not fucking okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. There's a place off Ocean Avenue where I used to sit and talk with you. We were both 16 and it felt so right. Sleeping all day, staying up all night. Staying up all night. There's a place on the corner of Cherry Street. We would walk on the beach in our bare feet. We were both 18 and it felt so right. Sleeping all day, staying up all night. Staying up all night. If I could find you now, things would get better. We could leave this town and run forever. Let your waves crash down on me and take me away, yeah, yeah. There's a piece of you that's here with me. It's everywhere I go, it's everything I see. When I sleep, I dream and it gets me by. I can make believe that you're here tonight. That you're here tonight. If I could find you now, things would get better. We could leave this town and run forever. I know somewhere, somehow we'll be together. Let your waves crash down on me and take me away, yeah. I remember the look in your eyes when I told you that this was goodbye. You were begging me not tonight, not here, not now. We're looking up at the same night sky and keep pretending the sun will not rise. We'll be together for one more night somewhere, somehow. If I could find you now, things would get better. We could leave this town and run forever. I know somewhere, somehow we'll be together. Let your waves crash down on me and take me away, yeah, yeah.
All right, everybody. That is going to conclude this stream. I just felt like playing a little bit of music today after talking that, just to kind of give us a little relaxing day. Plus, it's Father's Day, so I didn't want to overload on talking. Like I said, that's because there will be a part 3 of Knights Templar. So get ready for that. I appreciate those that came in, stopped in. If you heard the music, please leave a comment to let me know you did hear it. If not, I'll have to do it a different way. I just wanted to test out the Bluetooth capability on this system here. So I wasn't positive if it worked. But if it did, let me know. Have a great Father's Day. Beautiful day out. So enjoy it, okay? And you guys are amazing. Thank you.